There will come the time when you do believe in something.
I believe in nothing.
Yes, but there will come the day when you believe in something. And you will regret this deal you have made tonight. And on that day, that thing too shall be mine. You are the universe, Alpha and Omega, the beast with 10,000 young. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Now go forth and mutilate.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Movie Oblivion, the podcast about feature films based on comic books and comic strips that people have stopped talking about. I'm your host Jordan, and 3 years ago I made a terrible bargain. With an evil Saturnine figure. Just 50 pages a week, he said.
Yeah.
It'll be fun, he said.
Yeah.
And here I am, having read Faust.
Yes.
And how do I escape from this terrible bargain?
Boy, it's really felt like there was no coming out of this one. And these lads spent 20 years getting this thing done for what? I don't know.
This makes Crying Freeman look like War and Peace.
Yeah.
I am seriously reconsidering all of my votes of the last 3 weeks after reading this.
Yeah.
Comic.
Yeah. It's really interesting. I can't remember. This was supposed to be a Halloween episode. That's why I suddenly dove into it.
Yes. Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
But it's interesting how Crying Freeman seems kind of innocent, fun.
Sensible compared. Yeah, fun.
Like...
restrained.
Sweet.
This comic we read this week, Faust, has no redeeming features.
I think there's a little bit of redemption. I think Tim Vigil's line art in a panel gets pretty good. In one panel.
That's a really good point.
In a single panel or a splash or just one drawing, an individual drawing, especially later on, once it crosses around the year 2000, looks pretty good.
That's fair. But it has to be a single panel.
It has to be a single panel.
The pages
if you go from one panel to the next, you're like, where are we? Who are they? What happened? How did this guy get to that side of the room? What's going on?
You could generously say his art is busy.
Yes.
If I were feeling less charitable, I would say it's a goddamn ugly mess.
It is. It's over-rendered was the word that came to my mind. Too much detail. And I often talk about artists who don't cheat on the backgrounds and how much I like that, but it's very hard to...
backgrounds, is it?
No, it's every single thing, and it's not
everything's in focus, and he fills it with kind of like Baroque, like winged skeletons. Yeah. Like there is no white space.
That's right. And this is a problem because you can't tell what is the important thing that's happening. Is it the fact that this guy over here died, or that's this guy, what this guy says in this panel is important? You don't know, because everything's drawn with the same level of detail. There's no difference in line rate. And I was really processing this week, because I'm thinking of like artists like Jeff Darrow who have so much detail, but somehow you know where your eye is supposed to go on the page and what the important thing is to look at.
All right. I'll get you to talk about Faust in just a minute, but I will just say for the record that I think listeners know that I make a sustained effort to read everything you send me.
Yeah. I did this week too.
I usually read everything you send me, unless it's particularly long or particularly challenging. I couldn't read more than 4 issues of this comic.
Right. Okay.
I just could not stand any more of it.
You should, if you get to issue 6...
I'm never getting to issue 6.
In issue 6, at the first page is a recap of the first 5 issues.
Oh, wow. Actually,
issue by issue.
I read that.
I read that twice and could not figure it out.
No, I'm glad I didn't.
I was like, wait, that happened in that issue? Is that what was going on?
How would you know what the hell happens? It uses different fonts for no reason.
Yes, and sometimes should be using different fonts when it's not. You don't know who's speaking.
Everyone looks the same. Like you said, the art is...
This is a problem. There's a character that supposedly looks like Elvis. I'm like, no, he looks exactly like the reporter. At the end of the series, I was like, is this the reporter or is this the Elvis guy? Right. There's 2 women in it who are identical. I can't tell them apart.
Everyone's identical, including our protagonist, antagonist,
Yeah.
whatever you call it, anti-hero.
Yeah.
Well, they desperately want to be an anti-hero. All right, let's take a step back. Explain Faust to me, Kumar.
Okay. I can't really explain it. Here's what I will say. Faust started, I think, around 1987, 1988. It was black and white, self-published. This is very interesting in itself because the black and white boom and bust, which we talked about in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, had already happened.
Yes.
So these things weren't making money, but these two guys came along. They're like, well, actually, I think they were published by Rebel Studio or some. I can't remember quite the
Rebel
organization.
Studios is the name I've
That's
got.
their studio. So they were being published by some other publisher for the first 5 or 6 issues. And they put out this comic, which was a huge hit.
Really?
Yeah, huge. They were selling like 100,000 copies of issue 1 or 150,000. Incredible numbers. It went back to reprints again and again.
Well, I'm disappointed to hear that.
It was it was very different. It was really extreme. It was super gory, super sexually explicit. All that kind of, it was extreme before 1992. This is really key. I actually, reading this week, was like, I think those Image guys, your Rob Liefeld, your Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, I think they were all trying to do Faust. But like a PG-rated Faust in X-Men comics.
I don't like to hear that.
I think that's what was happening, because you look at it, and that's like, when I realized this came out in 87, because I thought it came out in the 90s.
Right. That would make sense.
All that X-Men stuff is a very diluted version of it. In fact, this character, we'll talk about all the stuff, but he's basically a cross between Wolverine and Batman. He's got Wolverine's claws and Batman's outfit, and he swings around the rooftops like Batman. He looms next to gargoyles like Batman, but he's got the claws of Wolverine. In the mid-90s, DC and Marvel did this crossover series called Amalgam, where all their characters got mashed together, and they had this character called Dark Claw, which was a mash of Wolverine and Batman, and it looked just like Faust. It was such a giveaway. I mean, they had ripped off Batman and Wolverine to begin with, and then they got ripped off back by... It's not like they could complain, because they had done it in the first place. But this is a huge thing, and
there's a bit of the Punisher thrown in there too.
Yes,
and also he's irreverent as well.
Yeah, he gives like stupid one-liners, like when he's fighting.
Irreverent's not quite the right word. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. Okay. So
stupidly, goofily sadistic.
Yes. All that kind of stuff. And so this was a big hit, and I would hear about it.
Shocked that it was.
I would hear about it, and like it would be people talk about it on like Wizard Magazine, like Faust is really hot, selling a huge number of copies, #1 selling for $50 or whatever like that. I never bought it. I never read it, and because at the time I was, as I mentioned last week, I would not buy mature readers' comics when I was on retail. I just wouldn't bother trying.
Yeah.
So I didn't bother trying, and then I never got around to it, and I didn't realize until this week that they slowed down to 1 issue a year, which was the Image method. Those Image guys, except for McFarlane, were putting out 1 issue a year. And then it dropped to like 1 every 5 years. Around early 2000, they got picked up by Avatar, who famously do like lots of porn comics and junk comics, and they did a bunch of spin-off miniseries about various characters. So the main series was kind of sidelined for a couple of years while they went back to the series. Okay, what is this series about? Besides this guy. Okay, I'll try to figure it out. Some of this I didn't figure out from the comic, but from the recap.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this, it starts kind of in medias res. We've got this guy, this Wolverine Batman kind of guy. And I'm trying to remember anything that happened in issue 1 now. Okay. We get some backstory. He kills a bunch of people. There's a doctor, a psychiatrist, named Dr. Jade DeCamp.
Yep.
She worked at a hospital under this guy named Yuri Yamamoto, which is not any Japanese name that I've ever heard. Yep. And in fact, in issue 13 or 14, they finally fix it and call him Yamamoto. And there's an in-joke about this in the movie.
Right, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
She worked for this guy named Yuri Yamamoto, and one of her patients, one of the guys she was treating, died in surgery, or there was some kind of mess up. It's very difficult to understand what anyone's talking about. Any line of dialogue is so strangely written in this comic. Yeah. It's very hard to figure out what's going on.
There's a lot of attempts to make it seem very edgy or portentous.
You were very lucky you didn't get to issues 13, 14, 15, because that is just the villain non-stop doing biblical villain dialogue for 30 pages an issue. There's like 90, 120 pages of this.
That was a superhuman effort.
It was crazy. I couldn't... And it's all nonsense. It's all junk that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so, yeah, this patient has died, so she leaves... She's fired... And then she comes back a few nights later, she breaks in, or she uses her ID or whatever, and she steals the files on this patient whose name was John Jaspers. She steals his file. Now,
There's a reporter.
There's a reporter named Balfour. He's... Doesn't matter. Nothing about him matters. Nope. She meets him in a bar. Cops. He tries to pick her up. At a cafe or a bar. There's two cops. There's a bad cop named Mulligan or Sullivan. Mulligan. And there's a slightly better cop named Margulies. Yep. Margolis, they call him in the movie. Yep. I kept thinking of Julian Margulies. I'm surprised they didn't. Yeah. Anyway. Miriam Margulies.
And certainly it's a little bit like the world of The Crow.
Yes.
In that everyone is just either a pimp or a whore.
You know what I thought about The Crow too?
Yeah.
But The Crow had heart.
Yeah.
It was not...
The Crow was a passion project.
Yes.
The Crow was a man's, trauma diary.
Yeah.
It
was a guy working stuff out. It wasn't great comics, but it was a guy working stuff out.
And the pencil art was okay. This, on the other hand, is unrepentant trash.
Yeah, so they're leaving this cafe together, and then they're attacked by a gang, and she feels like she's actually being targeted. It's not a random attack. But I didn't get that from reading the comic. I got that from reading the recap. Okay. That little detail.
She might have said it in some of that in illegible scrawl.
Sometimes they try to do handwriting, which is, I guess, supposed to be her. No, she's got handwriting. This reporter, sometimes we get text, like typewriter, and sometimes it seems to be handwriting, which is not legible. I think. I'm not sure.
Sometimes it's handwriting. Sometimes there's handwriting. Sometimes there's text. Sometimes it looks like a typewriter or teletext.
That's right. That's his newspaper article.
But it's not consistent.
No, it's not. And also we've got this radio. This radio is going in the background because Quinn is trying to do a very... This is a thing we saw in Watchmen, or where's my bell? Watchmen or Dark Knight, where you'd have... It's a postmodern thing where all these information sources coming at you, but they haven't differentiated the text in a way that you know it's a radio. Another problem is this guy has multiple personalities, and he's speaking to himself.
Oh, it took me so long to figure that out.
And it's impossible to tell...
And which voice is which, because he hadn't used different fonts.
No, there's no different fonts.
You normally would?
Yeah.
Or like a different word balloon style for the second
Yes, exactly. They should do something, different word balloon shapes, fonts, something to differentiate these voices, or let us know that it's not a gang member that's yelling at him, it's him speaking to himself.
It's just such a slurry. It all runs together. It's completely...
Anyway, he attacks... He rescues her from this gang. He slaughters them, he massacres them, cuts off heads, stuff like that. It's all
kisses a head?
He kisses a guy. In the movie, he licks that guy's face.
I guess that's a little... Yes. Is that more or less tasteful than kissing it on the lips like Salome?
Is that after he's beheaded the...
Yeah.
It's the decapitated
It's the most... It's the lamest edgelord shit.
Yeah, and meanwhile he's singing Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. Now, this is also a key plot point, is that she's like a music therapist. And she was playing this for him.
Get me started on that.
And, by the way, it starts with this couple, these like heroin-addicted couples screwing, and then these two bad guys named Beef and Happy show up and murder them, and that has nothing to do with the rest of the story. But we learn that there's this figure called M who's like controlling the drugs. Now, we learn later on that M, he's kind of the leader of all the gangs, and he is... this is, as the issues go by, we learn, I think, that M and Yuri Yamamoto were creating an assassin. John Jaspers was an assassin, and they gave him these steel claws. And then he...
It's funny that we're following on.
I don't know how he died. Apparently he died. He was in jail and was released. And the recap says into her custody, which it doesn't make sense. How do you release... She was in a mental hospital where she's treating him. Mm-hmm. He wasn't released in her custody.
Well, by the way, in issue 2 it's released... Which incidentally is incredibly illegal.
Oh, by the way, in issue 2, she reveals she was having sex with him. and she was in love with him. This is very unethical.
My patient and my lover. And
my lover, she says. I was like...
She's the world's...
Whoa, okay.
Incidentally, Kamar's recap, confused as it sounds, is 100 times more comprehensible than reading the actual comic.
Or even the recap in the comic, I think. Okay, so they've tried to create an assassin. I guess he went to jail and was released. I'm getting this from the recap. It's not in the comic. But we do get one panel of flashback where they give him these blades which pop out of his wrist.
I didn't get that far, I think.
And then at some point he dies, they bury him with the blades. As a kind of like villain move, he's like, I'll bury these blades with you because you were such a failure. I don't know why. Anyway, by the way, so then he came back to life somehow. Somehow he came back to life, like Emperor Palpatine. Don't know, it's not explained. He just appears. Also, somehow, he's got the blades, but he also has a Batman costume. Where did this come from? Why is he wearing it?
Question.
Never explained.
This is not a question the film answers.
Nope. Where does this Batman costume come from? I don't know. Okay, so anyway, he reconnects with Dr. DeCamp. Okay, now M is also, he's running the satanic ritual. He's got some sort of thing going on. He's been creating these assassins. That plotline is forgotten. They forget about the assassin. It goes all in for he's trying to summon a beast of the apocalypse. And for this, he abducts Claire. Or not Claire, sorry, Claire is his wife. Claire is his nympho wife.
Yeah.
She kills people and videos them. She's a bit like Nina Heaven. She murders these dudes while she's screwing them and videos it, and she gets off on it. And she's...
One book I read, she seems to trick his underlings into thinking that she's going to go behind M's back with them.
Right. Yeah, she's constantly like scheming.
Kills them.
Yeah. She's constantly scheming with these guys that come along. She's like, let's take over. In fact, in one issue, she convinces Dr. Yamamoto to... so Yamamoto is giving these medications to M every night.
Oh.
And she convinces him to switch drugs to kill him. And he injects it into M, our big bad guy.
Yep.
And M freaks out, like, what have you done to me? And he kills Yamamoto in that issue.
Yep.
Next issue, M shows up again, fine. Why didn't the drugs work? Never explained why the murder drug didn't work. No, not even a line of dialogue, as far as I can tell. Maybe there was a line of dialogue. Maybe it was on the radio. I don't know.
Speaking of the radio, to take a step back from that, this comic begins with radio playing in the captions, which is something we've seen on the podcast before.
Yeah.
It was in Hardware, I think. That film began with a radio broadcast.
Right.
It's a trope that I've seen before in comics, actually.
And movies, just like in The Warriors.
Ballad of Halo Jones begins with... and even better than that book, Weird Crime Theatre also begins with...
Yes. Well, this movie also has the boardroom murder. Which we've had like 7 times on the podcast.
I can't believe it. We've got another boardroom murder.
Yeah.
That scene that's the only scene I liked in the film, I think.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. So there is a scene, because he's controlling all these mobs of New York or whatever city they're in, and he's trying to have this ritual, end of the world ritual, and somebody defies him in the boardroom, and he opens up his shirt like Quato, in Total Recall, and this thing comes out, this monster comes out, and scares this guy to death. And then it turns out it was just an illusion that everybody saw.
Yes, that's right. That was in issue 3, I think.
Right. And so finally he ends up abducting Dr. Jade, and he wants her to be the mother of the beast, the homunculus, which is going to bring the end of the world.
Terrible name for you.
So there's like 10 issues, because these issues were coming out once every 1, 2, 3, 5 years apart sometimes. She's just lying there, and then he reveals, they figure out that she was raped by her father, and it's handled so distastefully, you will not believe. You're lucky you didn't read these issues, because it's just like, it's just a plot point. It's just a woman in a refrigerator kind of thing. Like, it's so dismissive. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. No, I could believe it, sorry. At this point, I could absolutely believe it.
There are no depths that this comic won't plot.
So basically, he impregnates her or Claire. They both end up birthing these snake creatures that, I guess, mutate into other things, and this homunculus thing mutates.
It's amazing how much of this makes it into the film.
Yeah, and this is like issue... Well, we'll talk about that, because Quinn wrote the script, so he knew how it was going to end.
Yeah.
because this movie comes out in 2000, which is 10 years before the series ended.
Really?
Yeah. So they'd only had like 12 issues of the series, and the last 3 hadn't come out at this stage.
Wow.
Yeah. So he loaded all that story stuff in there. That was stuff that was going to happen, and basically they fight.
So it's like an Akira, Scott Pilgrim kind of situation.
Yes, yes, very much so. Akira's a perfect example. Yeah, and then so the John Jaspers fights the homunculus. They basically kill each other. He dies at one stage. Brought back to life. None of that matter. It's really 6 issues of this ritual, this end of the world ritual, and just this babbling, blathering villain, and this.
I'm so glad you feel this
and
way.
this fighting.
We're on the same page.
Now here's a great question: why is the comic called Faust? It turns out one of the Margulies, the cop, figures out, he's like, that must mean Mephistopheles. I'm like, wait, how did you figure that out? This is just when he's walking to the ritual. They're walking to the mansion. He's like, that must be Mephistopheles. I'm like, what makes you think that? There's no deal has been made. If M is Mephistopheles, who's Faust? Who made a deal with the devil? Nobody did. Our hero's name is not Faust. He has no superhero name.
Right.
I don't know why this comic is called Faust.
We know where the film is, though.
Yes. The film is different. Fixes a lot of this stuff. I don't know how they figured out his M was Mephistopheles. What was the chain of... And a lot of the stuff, as we mentioned, there's a scene when I think Mulligan and Margulies go to attack the mansion. Our hero, let's call him Faust, John Jaspers attacks and slashes up some people. And I'm like, okay, fine. Next issue opens up, and Margulies mentions that Faust killed Mulligan, which I was like, that happened? Consistently reading this comic, I was like, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Until somebody tells me an issue later, just no idea. No. I still don't understand anything about the assassin plot. There supposedly is another assassin out there called Bloodclot, which sounds like a real 90s.
Yeah, that's
like Bloodshot, Bloodstorm, all those blood. I thought it was just a parody.
Sounds like a Valiant.
But that character never appears.
Oh my god.
We don't see it. It's just mentioned. One guy says, "Bring your assassin Bloodclot so we can deal with this John Jasper situation." We never see this guy. We don't know who any of the other assassins are. I don't have any idea what's going on in this comic at any stage. And in the end, it's just gobbledygook spouted by this guy as the end of the world's happening, which could have been done in a couple of pages.
But instead it's 3 issues?
It's 6 issues, really?
God.
Couldn't believe it. Just could not believe it. This was a shock of a read.
Excellent.
It was really, historically, I was fascinated that it was as early as 87, 88, before all the extreme comics of the 90s. I really felt like this was a progenitor. But at the same time, I was like, why was this selling hundreds of thousands? I think just because there was nothing else this graphic.
I think so.
At the time.
I think this is what you feel.
And I think this is what energized the kids that were buying it, this is so extreme, this is awesome. And that's what got those Marvel guys to be like, we have to make comics like this.
Well, there's something to be explored. I saw nothing that implied that in my... Although I normally don't research the comics very thoroughly. I leave that to you. Although I did notice that the Wikipedia page, clearly written by a fan, because it describes David Quinn as a playwright.
Right.
This comic written by playwright David Quinn.
Okay.
And also mentions Faust as a influential comic of the 80s in the same category as Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns. Company in which it certainly does not belong.
It's super derivative. By the way, there is a scene when we get a flashback or a hallucinatory flashback when he's been injured and he's under and he's remembering how he came back from the grave. So we get a scene of the graveyard and we see John Jasper's headstone next to Anton LaVey's, next to Frank Miller's. And I'm like, what's going on here? What are you trying to...
What
are you trying to say about Frank Miller and Anton LaVey and your comic book? What's the connection here? I guess that there's
I'm willing to bet that David Quinn wrote his own Wikipedia article.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, but before we move on to the film, I hope it's clear from Kumar's synopsis that there's absolutely nothing clever or interesting about This comic, it's pure nasty. It's nasty filth, ugly, nasty filth.
Yeah, without being fun. Last week was fun filth.
Yes, I completely. There is no comparison between the clever, witty, light-hearted at times.
Yes.
Playful riffing on wuxia tropes.
Yeah.
There is coherent, sensible at times. There is no comparison with this. This is not Dissard. This is just stupid, nasty, awful.
Yeah.
I read a few of the introductions.
And even without the nastiness, those last 3 issues are just the rambling of the villain.
Oh, boring too. Boring.
That's really boring.
Oh yeah, boring.
Yeah.
Boring. One of its biggest crimes. It's boring. It's not interesting. I was bored. One of the reasons why I stopped reading after 4 issues is because I was bored. I read some of the introductions to some of the issues, and they say things like, I picked up this comic and I thought it was shit.
Right. Right.
But then I changed my mind, and I'm reading it thinking, do you change your mind because the author's paid you to write this introduction? Because these are nobodies writing these introductions, like psychologist, London.
Right.
Just gross, boring filth.
Yeah.
All right, film.
Yeah, I just want to see if there's anything else in my notes that I want to mention. She is married to a pilot who shows up in issue 7. He comes back. He's been away.
Jade Dissard or whatever.
Jade
DeCamp. Not Dissard.
Maybe that's it. Didn't really... Last thing I wrote notes on was issue 11, because 12, 13, 14, 15 were all just the same thing over and over again. Okay, so yeah, we can talk about this movie. Real blockbuster vibes from this movie. Similar to what we had with the
video rental store, not the money-making enterprise.
Not the idea. Real blockbuster video vibes, much like I got from that second Modesty Blaze movie.
My Name is Modesty.
Yeah. Okay, 2000.
Yep.
Brian Yuzna, as we said.
Remember Brian Yuzna? If you've forgotten him, go back and listen to Crying Freeman.
Yeah.
The American one, the Canadian American one.
Yeah.
In the 1998, he decides he wants to set up his own film studio.
Okay.
Called Fantastic Factory. It was supposed to be like Hammer Films.
Okay.
So he was going to specialize in horror movies for the international market. He was going to make them cheaply, and he was going to have a stable of stars. Mm-hmm. Like people who would appear in all of them, basically.
Right. Okay.
Like Christopher Lee.
Okay, so it's going to be like a repertory company of just like the same... Okay, yeah.
It made 9 films.
Okay.
Between 2000 and 2005, of which this one is the first. Sometimes it would have Spanish directors and sometimes it would have American directors. Okay. So it would sort of go back and forth. It would be like... The American directors would be people like Yuzna himself or Stuart Gordon, who did... Reanimator,
yeah.
And From Beyond.
And Dagon.
And Dagon. Well, Dagon was one of the films that was made by this company, Fantastic Factory.
Right. And From Beyond.
There's
all the Lovecraft.
Well, no. Not From Beyond. Stuart Gordon did From Beyond.
Stuart Gordon did From Beyond.
I was going to say, this film, of those 9, only 2 are worthy of remark.
Okay.
Beyond Reanimator, you already rang the bell.
Yeah.
And Dagon, you already rang the bell. Stuart Gordon directed Dagon. It's worth remembering his name because he was the first director lined up to direct this movie.
Oh. Huh. Okay. There are some... So last time we talked about Yuzna, we talked a bit about Reanimator because he produced that.
Yep.
We also mentioned Society, because this movie has some Society scenes in it. There's 2 scenes in it that are like, these could have been in Society.
Yeah, definitely.
Like body melting stuff.
Yeah, the ending bit. Yeah. Definitely. I got real Society vibes from that.
When Claire gets the huge boobs and ass, we'll talk about that scene, but that's a total Society moment. 100%.
What a scene.
Yeah.
That's the only other scene I liked, actually. I know that's the only other scene I'd seen before, because it often pops up on reels of...
Oh, really?
On YouTube of reels of crazy horror... body horror sequences.
Yeah. It is really crazy. Crazier than anything in the comic, and we've got comedy music playing in the background. She's emitting this goopy, thick vaginal discharge that is just wild, while her breasts are going to the ground and her ass, and she just turns into this thing that looks like a like an Easter bun that's like in 4 pieces with a face in the middle and little arms that are flapping. It is crazy.
Her arms and legs atrophy.
Yeah.
And she's just nothing but tits and ass and a head floating in the middle.
Yeah.
It's such a strange sequence.
But we'll get to
all this.
That's the best bit. We've ruined it already. Okay. We've got.
It's not a great sign when your film begins with the only awarded one.
Yes, that was weird.
In this case, special effects at the Sitges Film Festival in 2000. Sitges has appeared on the podcast before as well in the Diamond is Unbreakable episode.
Oh wow! Right. Okay.
That was where.
Right.
That was the town that inspired Araki. The seaside town that inspired him for his
strange
his town
connection. Okay, talk a little bit. Well, we've got an opening scene where this painter is lying on the ground like he's been beat up, and he looks up, and there's a girl hanging upside down, dead, almost like crucified upside down, and he calls her Blue, and he goes and rescues her. Now, very confusing in the comic. This is the 2 drug dealers. We've changed characters in this version. It's the 2 drug dealers. He calls her girlfriend Blue, which is a thing that happens in the comic, which people have names that are confusing. To have a name like Blue is like, why is he calling this? Why is he saying Blue? What does that mean? It's actually her name.
Okay.
I actually figured that out from watching the movie.
Yes.
And then going back to issue 1 today, and I was like, oh, that's why he said Blue.
That's why he said Blue.
Okay. Right. And he pulls her down. He's very upset. And now we get the opening credits. Have I done this the wrong way around? Okay, by the way, so oh no, I have done this the right way.
No, you have, yeah. He drops a bracelet into the...
Yes, he pulls a bracelet off of her and then drops into a river, and then we get credits. He's standing on this very fake-looking bridge.
Yeah, I have no idea. The film's probably shot in Barcelona.
Okay.
If that's a real bridge in Barcelona, I don't know.
Huh. I'm guessing not, based on some of the other shots that take place on it. Okay, we get the opening credits, and okay, I'm going to say something right here. I think we get a Sepultura song over the credits, and we get a lot of Sepultura, Machine Head, Coal Chamber on the soundtrack.
You're going to have to unpack this for the listeners.
This was happening. These were all metal bands. These were all great albums. I listened to these albums over and over again. I do not think metal works in horror movies or slasher movies, and they were going in this direction at this period of time. Jason X had some heavy rock on the soundtrack, and we've done some other movies. It just doesn't work. Opening credits, I also already had a sinking feeling, when it was Soulfly or Sepultura over there. I was like, oh boy, like this is... Here we go.
So later on, Yuzna has a baffling quote about the choice of music in this film, which I will mention later.
Okay.
It will not shed any light on anything, but you'll just make of it what you will when we get to it.
Then we get the credit, original story by David Quinn and Tim Vigil.
Yep.
And then the next credit is based on the Rebel Studios graphic novel created by David Quinn and Tim Vigil. So they get double credit.
That seems like a redundant...
They've come up with the story for the movie. By the way,
but a story is different from a...
That's true, and he's also written... Quinn has written
He wrote the screenplay. Yeah. So why the double credit? Why not?
A little bit curious. I think they came up... Well, the screen story is a bit different than the comic story, so maybe they came up with ideas together. He wrote a script, so that is 3 separate credits. There's another guy that's done additional dialogue on this. If you look up the credits of anybody that worked on this movie, they're really funny. Like, this guy worked on, the Screamers direct-to-video sequel, and also, all of the Revenge of the Nerds movies. And watching this, I was like, there is kind of a Revenge of the Nerds vibe to it in certain scenes. Okay, opening scene. Here we go. We actually start in a padded cell.
Yeah.
With this guy in a padded cell, and out the window are our guys, our Margulies.
Yep. This is Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs.
Give us Jeffrey Combs. Let's open a tab.
Okay.
A fascinating tab.
Yes.
Jeffrey Combs is a prolific character actor.
Yeah.
Chief interest to this podcast in that he has appeared in numerous Lovecraft adaptations,
yes,
those produced by Brian Yuzna, and also on Star Trek. Yeah. He is a frequent appearer on Star Trek.
Starting with DS9. Was he ever on TNG? I don't think so. I think he started...
I don't think he was on TNG.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He started on DS9, then was on... I think he had one character on Voyager, and he was a recurring character on Enterprise, an Andorian called Shran.
Yeah.
He's been on Star Trek so many goddamn times, you would think he held the record for most number of characters to ever appear on Deep Space Nine, especially since he played Weyoun.
Yes. Who was 6? There were 6
There
of them.
was six of these guys.
Clones, yeah.
However, most lists don't count the different Weyouns as different characters.
Okay.
So actually, he's only second. And what's more, he's tied second.
Okay.
He's played 6 Star Trek characters, if Weyoun counts as one.
Okay.
A whole bunch of other guys have played 6 as well.
Okay.
But even if you count Weyoun, he's still only second.
Whoa.
Even if you...
Who's first?
Who indeed? A guy called Vaughn Armstrong with 11 different characters.
Him. I know who that actor is. But he was on Enterprise, he was a... Oh, no.
He just plays all of these... I've read through his credits, and it's all just like, Klingon Captain.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All this stuff. It's like, he is far and away, and probably always will be, the guy with the most screen credits on Star Trek.
Right.
So here's to you, Vaughn Armstrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeffrey Combs is great in this. He's got this funny, like, they've given him kind of young dude haircut, like a cool dude haircut.
Actually, I might disagree with you there. I felt like when we meet this character, I thought he was miscast. Right. Because he's kind of like a Maverick cop.
Yes.
And that's not really Combs' wheelhouse.
Okay.
But then it becomes obvious why they cast him later on.
Right.
But he's sort of like a... They call him Hound Dog. Apparently his nickname's Hound Dog. It's mentioned once.
Hound Dog, once.
Of all the people to describe as Hound Dog, Jeffrey Combs would not be high on the list. He's more of a Chihuahua. He's kind of like... He's got a twitch... This reminded me a little bit of the miscasting in Valerian.
Right.
With our lead, whose name I forget, but who's great at twitchy, anxious, boiling over with rage or something like that. To have this kind of cool young guy haircut cop, I didn't get it, but eventually, of course, it does pay off in a big way later on.
Okay. Well, now he says that this guy in the cell killed 19 people tonight, and I could have been the 20th, but he stopped. And then we had a flashback to what happened.
Yep.
And there's this embassy. I think it's some Middle Eastern. They talk about the emir being in there. And there's some sort of slaughter going on.
Yep.
And the cops aren't allowed to go in because they're waiting for the commissioner to show up.
Yep. They're waiting for Mulligan.
Marino, he's called.
Marino.
Commissioner Marino. And, but then this, like, pool of blood, like a flood of blood comes out from under the door of the embassy.
Like The Shining.
Yeah, and he's like, and, Margulies is like, I'm going in there. And he goes in, and it's absolute, it's a charnel house. Bodies, just pieces of bodies lying everywhere. And he sees this, what he calls an Arab woman, walking around, and he's like, who's there? But then he's attacked. This guy jumps down on him with these steel claws. This actor is named Mark Frost. We saw him in The Cell before. Yep. He looks a lot like Rick Mayall. It was confusing. I thought it was Rick Mayall the whole movie. But he attacks our hero cop, Margulies. Margulies manages to knock him off, and then when he knocks him off, he basically just gives up. And he says he
sees Claire.
Right.
Oh, okay, the Arab woman.
Yeah.
Who is actually an incredibly tall Spanish woman called Mónica Van Campen.
We'll talk about her. She's a trooper. This actress...
Yeah, a lot of the actresses in this movie are troopers.
She actually... I couldn't believe what she went through for this movie, and she did it.
Yeah. She's great.
Yeah.
Big respect to her.
Yeah.
Mark Frost...
Yes.
John Jasper's Faust spies Claire, the Arab woman, and says no to her. Makes no sense at that point, but later on we realize he's refuting because she represents the organization that's making him kill.
Yeah, and was he supposed to kill himself? Is this the thing he refused when he said no?
Who knows, but he's just stopped. He goes catatonic at this point.
Right.
The only thing he says is the hand.
He says the hand.
Yeah, and then... Combs, Jeffrey, I'm not going to remember Margolies, I'm just going to call him Jeffrey Combs.
Sure.
Jeffrey Combs then confronts the SWAT team that comes in and is ready to take out catatonic Faust. And he says, no, stop! He's not a threat.
Right.
How do you know that?
Yes. Oh, this whole movie is constantly, wait, how? How did you know that?
I think it's a really bad idea for you to turn your back on this guy.
Yes.
But this is, I guess, the beginning of trying to make him sympathetic.
Yes, I think so. And
because we're supposed to sympathise with John Jasper's.
Right. The commissioner comes in. He's like, "Why did you stop us? We should have just killed him. Now he's going to get off on an insanity plea."
Maybe he was supposed to die then.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because we learn later that this commissioner guy is in on it. He's part of this conspiracy to bring about the end of the world and summon the Antichrist or whatever.
So he wanted him to die. So he's delayed his appearance. They were waiting for him to come. So he has delayed his appearance at the crime scene to give Faust time to slaughter everyone in the embassy. Incidentally, we never find out why these people in the embassy needed to die.
Nope.
Or even who they are.
They were Chinese ambassadors.
Chinese ambassador.
Yeah, in a Middle Eastern
and a bunch
embassy.
of other people.
Don't know.
Why did M care about this days before the apocalypse?
Yeah. Don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not the stupidest thing that'll happen regarding this
Is it days
timeline.
or hours? I have a big question about this as we get through the movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's at least one day, because they do spend a night, don't they?
Yeah. There is a funny bit in here when the chief comes in. The dialogue is just so cliched. It's like...
this is another thing.
Jeffrey comes is like, "You're not the one in charge here.
I'm in charge
And then he walks in around the corner, "Oh, no, I am." And it's just like, "I told you, I'm going to throw the book at you." All that kind of cop cliche stuff.
Yep.
But there is a funny bit where they're talking about the slaughter, and there's a body lying on the table, and it falls in half at the waist while they're chatting. Okay, now we're back in the hospital, the mental hospital, where this guy... Now, he was in the padded cell that night that he killed... We're told from the opening dialogue he's killed 19 people tonight.
That night, that's right. So he hasn't gone to the cells, he's gone straight to
a padded cell.
Oh, that's a truncated.
And then Jeffrey Combs has a meet cute with Dr. DeCamp.
Yep.
He bumps into her and drops her books, and he's like, "Oh, you're real cute. You want to go out for coffee now?"
Again, this is not the guy to do this with. It's just like Valerian.
Yeah. Is this the same night?
Yeah.
Did he just witness 19 people get killed and him almost killed, and he's like, "This chick is hot. Do you want to come out for coffee with me?"
Yep.
I was like, is this the same night or is this like weeks later?
No.
Is he coming back weeks later?
It's got to be the same night. He's talking to Dr. Yuri Yamato.
Yes, that's Yamoto. Yamoto is his name. It's not Yamato.
Oh.
It's Yamoto.
Well, I only listened to it once.
But he says, Dr. Yamamoto, or whatever your name is, he says, it's Yamoto.
I thought it was Yamato, but
okay,
if it's Yamato, that's fine. Yeah, so a nod to the comic.
That is a nod to the comic being dumb.
But I'm pretty... But I'm pretty sure that this is the same night, because he's talking to Dr. Yuri Yamamoto about how how this John Doe, John Jaspers, needs a quote-unquote jump start.
Right.
They need to shock him out of his catatonia, and Dr. Yamamoto's like, "Oh, please, don't talk like that. That's not what we do here. This is this is a psychological hospital." Then Jade DeCamp comes in, and Dr. Yamamoto introduces her as their specialist in jump starts.
Yes. Yes. And she reveals her technique is music therapy.
Don't get me started on this. This person is the worst therapist.
She was doing in the comic with the I Feel Good and the Papa's Got a Brand New Bag and rock music or whatever, I guess.
I will open a very brief tab here to mention that my wife is a music therapist, and that music therapist is an incredibly disciplined and rigorous therapeutic method with an enormous body of precise scholarly and academic material behind it. It is not jailbait walking into a padded cell with a CD player.
Right.
This is a...
Also, well, okay, here's it is Yamato, by the way. I just checked. You were right. It is Yamato. Here's my question. If it's the same night, do you start treatment of the man you captured for killing 19 people? Do you start music therapy? Is that your first go-to the night you've arrested him?
Hell no. He should still be in a cell, a holding cell.
Yes.
He shouldn't...
There should be a lot of stuff that happens before...
The paperwork hasn't even been done yet.
Yeah, and they brought in this doctor. She's got a stack of CDs with music. By the way, his trigger is actually like Sepultura or Cold Chamber or something.
That's what brings him out of it. She's trying him on Mozart and stuff, but that doesn't work.
No.
But, and then, this is such bad practice. She's the worst therapist.
Yes, well...
And she hasn't even fucked him yet.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't screw him until he comes back from the grave, but that's what's later. So Jeffrey Combs is convinced that there's some sort of conspiracy because of him saying
two words, the hand.
He said the hand. He's like, there's something going on here. And there was an Arab woman that disappeared from the embassy.
So he Googles it, and his first hit...
Yeah, he sees the guy has an inverted pentagram on his hand, a scar.
Yep.
And Jeffrey Combs goes home and Googles it, and he's like, he's like, oh, this is a cult to bring about the end of the world or whatever.
Wow.
It's real, like,
Try
90s,
it, folks.
2000s horror movie storytelling, really, to Google stuff and just find this stuff on, like, a MySpace page about the end of the world.
Oh, it's such a MySpace page. Yeah. It's got, like, big font.
Yes.
Oversized JPEGs.
Yes. Yes. In the cell, he get a shot where he sees a shadow and it looks like this creature, this monster creature, which we haven't seen in the movie yet. And there's a crazy line from the chief of police here where he says, he talks about the incident at the embassy, and he says it's just an outbreak of chaos, like a pimple on the face of God, which is a crazy thing to say when 19 people come. But we learn later this guy's a Satanist.
Yeah, but this is typical of the kind of dialogue that appeared in the comic.
Oh, yeah.
And of
pages and pages of it, yes.
Of this pretentious, pseudo-portentous dialogue.
Finally we meet our villain, M. He's got 1 million TV screens that he's watching.
He's watching more footage on it.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, it's so edgy.
Yes, he's kind of an albino in this version.
Shall I open a tab about the actor? Do you recognize the actor?
Well, I didn't recognize him, but I looked him up, and I noticed that he was in Mac and Me, that's a credit and a half right there. He was also in Hunt for Red October and Air Force One and something called Moscow Heat, so this guy's thing is to play Russians.
He plays Russians. He's a really interesting guy.
Okay,
Andrew Divoff.
Okay.
I think he's from Venezuela.
Okay.
But his father was Russian.
Okay.
I know him from Wishmaster.
Right!
Which is a crazy series about an evil genie that grants your wishes in a fucked up way.
Yeah. Well, that first one is legendary because it had everybody in it. Like Robert Englund was in it, and Kane Hodder was in it, and yeah.
I've only seen the first two, but the first one is really cool.
Yeah.
I really like it. Anyway, he's a really interesting guy. He speaks 8 languages, apparently.
Okay.
He attended universities in Europe and America studying linguistics. Right. Wrote a thesis on the Canterbury Tales.
Okay.
But eventually dropped out and pursued acting.
Okay.
And aside from Wishmaster, he just seems to play Russian goons a lot of the time because he speaks fluent Russian.
Oh, got it. That makes sense.
In fact, he got his first acting job by, apparently over the phone, by being able to say, "Chase that van" in both English and Russian.
Wow.
But interesting guy, a passionate environmentalist, does a lot of charity work.
Interesting.
Really cool dude.
Okay.
And he's got a lot of screen presence. He's a pretty good villain, I think.
Yeah, I think so. He's good at like showing the scenery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's good in this. But we also meet Claire, played by Mónica Van Campen.
Yes.
Immediately takes off her clothes.
Yeah.
I was like, this is great because it's like the comic. It's just like I'm just going to be naked.
She's about like 6 feet tall.
Yeah. And she's also
naked.
chewing the scenery and like delivering this crazy dialogue all the time. And
she never wears a bra. She's just constantly in like an open jacket.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's got something on her nipples. Sometimes she doesn't.
Yep.
This
is how she made her way through the whole movie. She's really something else in this. Okay. Now, when Faust sees the Sepultura CD, suddenly his memories come back to him.
Well, he listens to she puts it on for him. Okay. Very unwise.
Yeah.
I can't not stress enough how unlike music therapy this is.
Yeah.
Anyway, he goes berserk and smashes the CD player.
Yeah.
And then his memories come flooding back. He snaps out of his catatonia.
Yeah.
Incidentally, his catatonic face looks really dumb. He's just slightly cross-eyed. And he starts to tell the story of how he ended up where he is. And he's a painter?
Yes, he was a painter we saw in the opening scene. And he was attacked by this gang.
Yes. Who are after his girlfriend.
Yeah, had been smuggled into the country. By the way, even our actress playing Jade DeCamp has an accent, a slight accent from somewhere. Spanish. Almost every actor in this movie...
They're all Spanish.
You're right.
So the actor playing Blue is Spanish.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the actor playing Jade is Spanish.
Yeah.
Everybody's Spanish.
Right.
Except for Mark Frost, who's actually English. At that time, he was working... I think he was acting in a TV show in England called...
The Young Ones?
No. He doesn't remind me of Mick Mayle. In fact, I thought he was Jeffrey Combs in the first scene.
Oh, really? Okay.
But no, he was acting in a show called Doctors, or The Doctors.
Okay.
He's still active, actually.
Okay.
He does a lot of voice work, a lot of video game voice
interesting.
work. Okay. Brian Yuzna cast him, total unknown in kind of cinema, although he was doing TV work. He said, I needed someone I could take a chance on and transform into a fantastic factory regular. So he was still envisioning that this would be a going concern and he would have a stable. Like Hammer did with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Not company that Mark Frost belongs in. I wanted someone crazy, sympathetic and athletic enough to rise to the John Jasper's occasion. This is the best bit. Frankly, I was at a complete loss until my 12-year-old son watched Mark's showreel and jumped up and down at his charisma. If I was going to cast the lead actor in a borderline porn... I'm not sure I'd get my 12-year-old son to make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird. Okay, so now we get the flashback to after his girlfriend is killed, he goes to kill himself on this bridge where he throws the bracelet in.
And now Andrew Divoff shows up.
Right.
With M.
Yes. So Claire and M show up and he reveals that he's like... Faust says... John says, I don't believe in anything. And he says... M says, well, if you don't believe in anything, why don't you just sell your soul to me?
Yep.
Because you don't believe it exists anyway, so why not just do it? And he produces this magical contract, very cliche devil kind of contract, and gets him to sign it.
Yep. Bunch of edgy nonsense.
But and then he says a line that says, when you do believe in something, someday when you do believe in something, I'm going to take that thing.
Well, it doesn't take long, does it? It takes like a day.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and he just utters this... It's like what you described the final 6 volumes. Like, he's just coming out with this...
Just lines.
Pseudo-biblical blather. He says, you are now the...
He also does say, do as thou wilt, which shall be the whole of the law, which was...
Aleister Crowley.
Aleister Crowley, 2 weeks in a row.
Yes. 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 But he also says some other... It muddies it with a bunch of other junk. Like, he says he's the black beast of the wood with 1,000 young, which is a Lovecraft reference.
Yeah, right.
Shub-Niggurath. And he also says he's the Alpha and the Omega, which is straight out of the Bible.
Yeah.
It's just throwing it all in. It's just a bunch of blather.
Yep. It's just all
gibberish.
Yep. Okay, so he signs a contract, and then he's given these blades, Wolverine blades.
Yes, Wolverine blades. So my question here, what exactly is M giving... What exactly has Jaspers received in exchange for his soul?
2 steel blades, which are very flimsy. They often at the times he'll pull them up in shot and they'll wobble.
Yes.
They'll wobble in shot. It's really shocking. This is a year before X-Men. Of course, it doesn't have X-Men money.
No.
But you get these wobbly blades, and then there's other scenes like when he immediately goes to the base of these guys, the people smugglers, and kills them. But there's a scene where he's like slashing somebody who's off screen, and he's not acting in a way that his blades are penetrating anything. He's just swinging his arm around like there's not through air.
Yeah. Don't even mention the end of the film where he fights
a CGI, badly rendered CGI too.
All right. So anything else?
No.
So this is a pretty shit deal.
Very shit deal. These blades are good because they got flip out claws that I guess are pressure activated. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not
he's
even
not
like
immortal or anything.
It could be, but we don't see it, right? We have no clue.
No, he doesn't. Oh no, you're right. He doesn't have anything.
Nothing. He literally just has some bracelets
you're right.
crummy
you're
blades on them.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah.
He could have bought a gun.
Yeah. And went and got revenge. I guess the blades are best for killing stuff. Actually, there's
Nothing. There's no... It's literally just blades.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
he says, go forth and mutilate.
Yeah. He thinks he's done because he's gotten revenge, but then M shows up and says at his house and says,
he cuts up all the drug dealers or whoever attacked him. Yeah.
He's like, you have to keep killing. He's like, I don't want to keep killing. He's like, we made a deal, and also part of the contract is you can't harm me.
Yep. You have to do as I say.
Yep.
Should have read that contract.
Yep. Then Claire shows up and screws him in the shower and videos it. I loved it. I was like, great. She's like, hey, let's get revenge on M.
And she's just she's such a backstabber.
Yeah.
Every single person she meets, she's like, let's kill M, my husband.
Yes.
I know his secrets. We can have all his power. And then she has sex with them and maybe kills them.
Yeah. Okay, now, back in the present, Jade is like, she's heard the whole story, and she's like, they're going to transfer you tonight. And he's like, that's not going to be a transfer. No. They're going to come get me.
Yep.
She goes into the office and she pulls his file. Here's a question. It's his first night. Okay, now we learn later that, yes, they've been keeping track of this guy, so there would be a file there. But how did she know that his first night he would have a secret, that he would have a file in the office that she could steal?
Yep, that's an excellent question, at which there is no answer. In fact, at this point, I was really grumpy because I was like, how does he have a file? They described him as John Doe earlier.
But
of course, we get a reveal later on that they knew who he was all along, because everyone is part of the conspiracy.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't answer the question of, A, how did they write up the file so quick?
Yep.
He's just been admitted.
Yep.
And B, how did she know to go and look for it? Maybe she went to look for John Doe and found John Jaspers.
Yes,
that's
but what file would he have? She has all his data. She's there to give him therapy.
His therapist. Anything about him, she would be writing in her report.
That's right.
Mind you, she doesn't write reports. She's just like an absolute flippity-gibbet that just comes in with the fucking tape there.
Yes. But the bad guys show up, they extract him from the prison, and then they decide to bury him alive with his blades.
Yep, just like the comic.
They don't know, not like the comic. He's not dead in this version. In the comic, he was dead, and he came back to life, and they threw his blades in with him as a poetic villain move. Yep. Here, they're like, you're still alive, I'm going to bury you alive. Here, have your blades.
So he's buried... Yeah, this is a really good question, Kamala. It's a really good question. First of all, how were they controlling him in the first place and making him kill 19 people when he didn't want to? B, how did he break free of that control?
Yep.
C, why doesn't M withdraw his demonic favor from him, or whatever boon he granted him, the blades, which we later find out he can do?
Yes.
As soon as why doesn't he restore the control that he originally had over him?
Mm-hmm. They're very upset that he broke control and didn't kill 20 people and only killed 19, and didn't kill himself, maybe, I guess? They're like, you didn't kill yourself, we're disappointed in you, we're going to bury you alive.
Yeah.
Why not kill him if you want him dead?
They plan to kill... This is a sadistic way of killing him, because he's going to choke on grave dirt.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And also, M tells him that he's going to... He started to care about a thing, as M predicted he would. Mm-hmm. One day you'll care about... Andrew Divoff has a great deep voice. He's fantastic as Wishmaster.
Yes.
He's like, one day you'll care about somebody.
Yes.
Or something, and I'll be there to take it from you. We didn't realise it was going to be 13 hours away.
Well, we don't know how long between the attempted suicide and the
I doubt it's been very
embassy. Long. Yeah, probably not long.
So M is now going to kill, capture, punish Jade the Camp.
Yeah.
As for the punishment for John Jaspers for defying him.
Okay. But then he decides he wants her to be the vessel of the Antichrist.
That comes later.
Oh, so he changes his mind.
Or his plan evolves. At this point, I think it's implied that he just wants to mess with her to punish Jaspers. Even though shortly Jaspers is going to be dead and won't know either way.
Right, okay. But he comes back to life. Now...
Well, first of all...
There's a scene I like where he fights a skeleton to come back to life. The skeleton tries to choke him, and he's kind of wrestling this thing in his mind. It's not literally happening.
Well, I don't know exactly what's happening because the film doesn't tell us anything. It's just a big mess. But the Wikipedia synopsis thinks he went to hell.
Oh.
And the skeleton, he fights his way out of hell.
Okay, because this is my question was, why did he come back to life?
Yeah. Because
was there something in the contract he signed? Would M miss a stupid clause that was like, if he dies, he comes back to life?
Nope.
Not only that, he can now mutate into this
why does he have this ability
bat
now?
creature.
This is not an ability that M granted him.
No, or the ability to come back to life.
No.
This had to have been granted by God? Did God was like...
It might have been, though, because we just don't know.
Right.
All we know is that he got some shit blades.
Yeah.
But
actually, when he went to kill those gangsters, the people smugglers, he looked in the mirror and we see a reflection
of him as
the monster.
Right, so he might have been given
Maybe he had the ability but didn't use it pre-death.
Too many questions.
Maybe it was only activated by death. None of this is answered.
No, we just don't know. No. But he fights a kind of stop-motion skeleton, which is pretty rad.
Yes, this is the bit I like. And then I don't even think it's stop motion. I think it was like a puppet of some sort.
It looks really cool.
Like a marionette kind of thing.
It's got like a bunch of arms and spider skeleton. It looks freaky and awesome. And then he comes out of the grave Carrie style, except now he's like a kind of lumpy red monster.
Yeah. Imagine if there have been like, was there Batman? Oh yeah, like Batman Begins. There's like when people get the... when the Scarecrow gets his own gas and he sees Batman as this bat creature.
It's all lumpy and covered in like...
Like this scary actual half-human, half-bat creature. It's a little bit like that.
But red. But bright red. And with a red silk cape.
And delivers one-liners like he does in the comic.
Well, it's lifting the tone of the comic where he just sort of delivers all these half-assed, sardonic... quips.
Yeah.
They're not even quips,
but he's like
they?
having fun. Like he's like, he's got this goofy smile on his face.
It's like supposed to be like sadistic or something, but none of it lands. It just seems really goofy and silly. Yeah. Incidentally, about his cape.
Yeah.
I can't believe they gave him a cape.
Yeah.
Yuzna said in an interview I read, the interview I've been quoting from, which appeared in Cinefantastic magazine, which I'm often quoting from, because all of Cinefantastic magazine is archived on archive.org.
Yep.
It's a fantastic resource for genre film. Shout out to whoever uploaded it. He said, I always felt capes were silly. Superheroes that work well on screen don't have a cape, like The Crow or Blade. These are 90s superheroes. I mean, how do you get to any point in the story where the superhero dons a cape? It doesn't make any sense to me. The whole cape thing drove me crazy for months until someone in the costume department said, just give him a red silk one and be done with it. So that's why he's running around with his red silk cape.
Interesting that he also could not figure out the comic. In the comic, we're like, why did he have a cape? Why does he have a costume?
Yep.
And he couldn't figure out it either.
There seems like, reading between the lines in this interview, he seems reluctant to annoy Quinn.
Interesting. And Vigil. Yeah.
And Vigil. And I don't really know why, because the film rights have been purchased by the producers.
Yeah.
Who are, we haven't mentioned them yet, Michael Burnett and Ted Chalmers.
Okay.
So Michael Burnett did Darkman.
Okay.
And also Universal Soldier.
Okay.
And Chalmers did... I think he's worked with these characters before, so he's also done kind of genre film.
Huh.
So they own the... So I don't know why he's reluctant to... It's just another mystery.
Well, you don't want to badmouth the source material when you're promoting a movie. I wouldn't.
I suppose not. Yeah.
Okay, so Jade DeCamp is supposed to meet with Jeffrey Combs, because he's Googled the Satanist stuff.
The hand, yeah.
At the cafe, when she leaves, she's attacked by these Satanists. And then Faust attacks. This is when we get our quippy dialogue, his very weird makeup and costume.
Yeah.
In a sense, it's better than the comic because we don't know why he's wearing tights in the comic. Yeah. Here it makes...
Why he looks like...
sense that he's some sort of...
Wolverine-Batman cross.
Yeah, and here's a devil creature.
Yeah, he's clearly gained some kind of powers either from M or on his... trip back from the afterlife, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because he's immune to bullets now.
Right. Okay, so now one of the low-level bad guys comes back to base. One guy survives, and Claire screws him and is like, let's get an M. We can take over. And they're videoed, of course, by M while
he's watching.
Yeah, he's watching.
He likes to watch.
And she slits this guy's throat and licks the blood off her hands. It's really very like the comic. This actress really went all in.
Yeah. Props.
She was never out of character.
Big props to Mónica Van Campen, a model. She has some other credits.
Okay.
All Spanish stuff.
Right. Okay. And this is the scene where M comes in, is like, you try to betray me, and we go full society. her breasts, she's like, oh, he's like, you're horny? Well, I'll give you horny. And her breasts and butt grow super huge, and there's this goop coming out from between her legs, this super thick, like, goop coming down.
It's like Vaseline.
And then she turns into this big blob, and then finally
it's kind of like a doughy pair of tits and a butt with a face at the nexus between the two. Yes. And she's got tiny little atrophied legs and arms, like, they look like, what do they look like? They look like little weeds or something flapping around.
Yeah. And then he
restores her
with a bit of magic.
And she's completely naked, covered in Vaseline. And, he says, I enjoy your shenanigans, but don't take it too far.
Yeah.
Crazy scene. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Screaming Mad George.
Yes, that's right. We talked about him just a few weeks ago or something, didn't we?
Crying Freeman again.
Oh, right. Okay, right.
He did some of the work on that movie, didn't he?
There was something, but I can't think what.
He's a Yuzna associate,
right?
And they end up working on Guyver together, as I mentioned.
Right. Okay.
I can't remember whether or not he worked on Crying Freeman. Okay. But it doesn't matter. He definitely worked on this one.
Right. Okay, so Jeffrey Combs takes Jade back to her apartment. He sees a picture of her dad. This is one of the funniest bits of dialogue. He sees this photo of her with her dad. She's like, "Who's this guy?
Your husband?"
She's like, "No, he's my..." When would you ever go into somebody's house and look at a photo and say, "Who's that guy?"
He's reluctant to leave because he wants to... He's hoping for
some nookie?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But she's like, "He was my hero, he died." And then he leaves. What a weird...
Well, it's a buzzkill.
He walks out. Okay, see ya. Yeah. He doesn't even say bye. I think he just walks out the door.
I'm not getting laid.
He died.
Fuck this. It's so weird seeing Jeffrey Combs in this role.
Okay, she gets in the bath, and then she's attacked in her house. Oh, sorry, John Jaspers comes back first.
Yep.
And then they're attacked by these cops that come in. And there's a big chase. They go through the subway.
Well, she has her rape flashback in the bath.
Yes,
which is an improvement to the comic, where she, I believe, masturbates when she has her bath in the first issue.
In the first issue, she gets in the shower and she gets so hot. It's a bit like Crying Freeman, where just giving someone a blood transfusion, or being in a bath with people, other people, just seeing them, will be enough to trigger an orgasm. Yeah, she gets hot thinking about seeing all those people murdered in an alleyway. I guess that's reflected in this movie when Jeffrey Combs bumps into her.
I was so relieved. But I was so relieved that she didn't start doing that in this scene. Instead, she has a kind of creepy flashback to being raped as an 11-year-old.
Yes, by some creature.
Which is an improvement, apparently.
Yes. A faceless creature.
She calls Smooth Man.
Smooth Man. His face is not smooth, it's lumpy.
No. So why is it
they weren't following the script. The makeup designers did not read the Smooth Man line. Big chase through the subway. John rescues her from the bad cops.
John himself spouts off cornball, pretentious lines, which must come straight from the comic, but don't fit the scenes that he's in.
I don't think they come from the comic, but they're from the comic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. How could you tell? I mean, it's all the same shit, isn't it?
And then he's like, then they have sex.
How could she possibly consent to this? He's like a murder monster. But she also says, I wanted you from the first moment I saw you. Yeah. When you were his therapist and he was catatonic. He was
in a padded cell, catatonic. She's like, I gotta screw this guy. This is the guy for me. But they start screaming and then she freaks out.
Yeah.
And then she reveals that she was raped when she was 11. She doesn't know who by. She's blocked the memory.
Who could it be?
Yeah.
Who could it be?
She's in her bedroom, in bed, in the memory. Somebody walks in with a monster face. Who could this be?
Who could it be? And who was mentioned already? Who was already shown in a photo?
By the way, as she's lying...
As soon as I fucking saw that photo, I knew...
Oh, yeah. While she's lying in bed with John's Jaspers, telling him about this story, about how she was raped, and I'm sorry I freaked out. What the fuck is she apologizing for? It's really bothering me. Yeah. He's wearing his claws.
Yes, that's right, he is too.
He doesn't even take them off in bed. Imagine if Batman left his cowl on when he's screwed. This was wild. Okay, now...
The next scene is really good.
It's the boardroom scene.
Yeah, the boardroom scene.
And the guy, the chief of police comes in
Marino.
and he's like, how am I going to explain this to the mayor when we got this ritual coming on? So it seems like the mayor's in on the
No, the mayor's not in on it.
Oh.
I think. But this scene makes no sense. This is a great scene. It's a boardroom scene. This presumably is the cult, the hand.
Yeah.
Or at least the higher ups in it. And they've just got the most eclectic looking bunch of weirdos. It's...
Yes. Also, that gang, the smugglers gang, was a real 90s movie gang. You got one black guy, you got one woman, you got this guy, that guy. They're all dressed like punks.
Yeah. Like The Crow.
Yes, just like The Crow.
But here, it's white.
In fact,
we got an old lady.
Yes, there's an old lady.
Quite a dignified looking old lady. Another old man with huge mustaches.
Yeah.
A little person.
Yep. There's like a black lady. There's
a beautiful
variety.
Black lady.
Yeah,
it's very different from that.
It's a funny mishmash of people.
It's great. Casting director, I salute you.
Yes, but you're right.
This is a great cult boardroom.
Yes.
Anyway, Marino comes in and he says, this is, he got away, I lost the girl and I can't catch this slasher either. You've lost control of him. What am I supposed to tell the mayor when I meet him tomorrow? Why I couldn't find this guy that you lost control of. And then we find out that the ritual is tonight. The ritual, incidentally, that's going to bring about the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So it's literally hours away.
Okay.
And Marino is talking about a meeting with the mayor tomorrow.
Right.
After the apocalypse?
Right. And Marino is there in the orgy, I think, at the end, right?
What?
Oh, no, he's killed in the scene.
No,
everybody else is
He might have been, but he shouldn't have been. That would have been a continuity error. I like this scene. I love him ranting and raving and all this stuff, even though it doesn't make any sense. And then Andrew Divoff M opens up his shirt.
Yes.
And consumes him.
Yes. Yes, the monster comes out.
Of his chest,
the Quato, the big beast thing comes out. It's good special effect.
It is good. It even melts into his face at one point.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And in this case, it's real. And unlike the illusion that it was in the comic, he actually consumed him.
Yes.
Here I think M is actually Mephistopheles here, right? He's a demon.
Yes.
Because he has demonic powers.
Yes. And we've had a deal. We've had a Faust-like deal where he signed his soul away.
Yes.
Yes. It's thematically much clearer.
Oh yeah.
In this version. So
he mentions they're summoning Homunculus. I hinted earlier, the name Homunculus is a stupid name for a demon. It literally means little man.
Yeah, usually they're like, in a comic or a movie, they're like a little miniature thing that appears.
Yeah.
Very weird. I don't think, I think Quinn knew what a homunculus was. I think he just he saw a lot of cool words.
Yes.
And just threw them in there.
In some fiction, it's come to mean artificial person.
Okay.
So I think in like Full Metal Alchemist and Hellboy, homunculi are kind of like Frankensteinian.
Okay, but neither of those apply
to this. Nope. It's a demon.
Yeah. Okay, so Jeffrey goes to the mansion and he seems to figure out what's going on and he calls...
Well, first of all, he's spying on this scene. He's seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's bluffed his way in.
Yeah.
Now he's watching the whole scene, but M knows he's there. Even though he's watching behind the two-way glass that M loves to watch Claire fuck through.
Yeah.
M knows he's there because he's a demon. And then he seems... It's not clear, but he seems to do something to his mind. Flips him.
Yeah.
Now we get some Jeffrey Combs acting.
Right. Yes. Yes.
He goes from being the confident leather jacket wearing maverick cop to creepy cultist.
Yes.
This is why you hired the man.
Right. So he calls her over. He says, "Come alone." At this point, Claire goes to Yuri. She doesn't screw him. She's like, "Hey, we could take over this organization. Why don't you give him the wrong meds tonight?"
She's like the fourth person she's done this to. She makes out with him.
Oh, she does. You're right.
Yep.
In this version, Yuri gives him the injection. Maybe it's a little bit later, actually, but
It does come up a bit later.
Yeah, okay. So, Claire
says to him his power is peaking.
Right.
That's when he's most vulnerable. Is that when you're the most vulnerable?
Yeah. So Jade shows up, and...
she's been lured there, and then Jeffrey Combs says some stuff about how she's a hypocrite, presumably because she had sex with John Jaspers.
Yeah.
And then we get some amazing photos.
Yes, 100%, yes.
These photos are cool. So, M comes in. It's a scary reveal now that, Combs has turned his coat.
Yeah.
He's saying things to her. I can't even remember what he says, but the camera pans around and we see some photos, and we got 2 photos of M with Adolf Hitler.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
They've inserted him in those photos. And then there's a third one with what I think might be Mother Teresa.
Amazing.
Which is even better.
Yes. Yes, totally amazing. Yes. So they capture Jade.
Yep.
And this is the point when Dr. Yuri comes in and gives him the shot.
Yep.
But I think he gets cut off before he can complete it, which is why it doesn't kill him.
Well, I just don't think he can be killed.
Okay.
Who knows? But what happens is he manifests all these horrible lesions and polyps all over his face. Then he eats Dr. Yuri's face.
Yes.
And collapses. Then Claire comes in with a shotgun, blows his head off.
Yeah.
Then we see his hand do the thing, where it clenches and then slowly relaxes.
Yes.
Oh, he's dead. Okay, I get it. Then Claire announces she's the leader of the cult.
Yes.
To 2 guys that come in. One of these guys looks, I guess, like he would belong to a cult, but the other guy... I've even written down the name of the actor. His name is Mark Martinez. His character's name is Happy.
Yes.
And unfortunately, he's not in any other comic book movies, which is a damn shame.
Is this the guy with the big hair?
The fro.
Yeah.
Like the frizzy...
It looks like...
he looks like he works...
John C. Reilly meme where he's looking around, confused, and he's got the big hair. I don't know what that's from.
He does not look like he belongs to a satanic cult.
No.
He looks like he works in a head shop.
Yes. Yes.
It's the weirdest bit of casting.
In the comic, he's the guy that ends up turning into the homunculus. They use him as a vessel or something like that. Yeah.
Well, no, that honour falls to Jeffrey Combs in this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark Martinez, such a strange bit of casting.
Yes, and these effects are society effects when he's eating the guy's face as well. This is the other big kind of society scene.
Definitely. So now Claire's in charge, I guess. So she starts torturing... in a very kinky scene, she starts torturing Jade.
And wants to reactivate her memory of the rape for some reason.
Yep.
He's trying to trigger that, and does, and then Jade remembers that it was her father that raped her.
Maybe, because it happens again later on.
Well...
It's weird.
She remembers in the scene, and then suddenly, when M, who's alive, comes back, she suddenly turned.
Well, she kind of turns before, like... The torture, the kinky BDSM torture, turns her somehow.
No, I think it was the activation of the memory. It's that moment when she remembers her dad, suddenly she's like, oh, I'm horny for M now. Which is really
She'd already seen
distasteful.
She'd got a bit horny before that, I think. She started licking others. But yes, I'm cool with that. Because that makes what happens later even dumber. Because what flips her back from horny for M mode is her remembering being raped by her father in a later scene.
Right. Oh, also, okay, here's the other thing I didn't like, really disliked about this memory activation. When she goes back into her memory of the rape, she's in bed as a grown woman. It's not the little girl. And the smooth man comes in, and they start making out, and she loves it. She's really loving it, and she's floating. They're floating above the bed. I think.
What is this supposed to mean? Yeah, he's floating above the bed.
She's kind of semi-floating too.
I guess it's meant to just be unsettling imagery, but you can do better.
And it's after that, when she sees a face, then M comes in and she's like, ooh, M. This is all wrong. This is all
completely wrong.
Really bad.
There's no subtext here.
Yeah.
It's just tedious schlock.
Yeah. Now, meanwhile, John Jaspers, who is asleep, wakes up and he has a vision of M having sex with Jade. This is something that happens in one of the issues of the comic. Once the ritual starts, their minds are linked and he can sense what's going on with her and vice versa. And it's just dealt with in one split-second moment where he sees what's going on. So he goes over, the ritual's happening, Claire's been tied up, she's like being sacrificed now because I guess she's gone too far too many times. She's in this really crazy mud makeup that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. And so is Jeffrey Combs.
Yes.
Jeffrey Combs is now a crazy, naked mud man.
Yeah.
Perfect Combs acting. He's staring directly into camera.
Yeah.
He's got like a pentagram painted on his forehead. And he's covered in mud.
Yeah.
And he's just ranting about the truth. And finally he's seen the truth at all this madness.
Yes.
He collapses. M pulls a snake out of Claire.
In the comic, it's birthed out of her vag. It actually happens twice in the comic. Once out of Jade and once out of Claire, maybe. Definitely once out of Jade. Yeah. Anyway, they put a lot of... It's still a good effect. It works just as well. Didn't even have to come out of her...
No, coming out of her tummy works better.
Yeah.
Because he can do the Molarm thing.
Yes.
Molarm.
Yes.
Boom! In he goes, and he pulls out the snake.
Yes.
Then she bursts into flame, or maybe that's later. And then he feeds the tummy snake into Jeffrey Combs' mouth.
Yes.
Jeffrey Combs swallows the whole snake, then he collapses.
Yeah.
Then...
So does he turn into the homunculus by eating the snake? Is that what happened?
That's what happens.
Right, okay.
Or he disappears, and then the homunculus rises out of a pit where he was.
And there's a big orgy happening from all the followers here.
Some people are naked, some people aren't. It's very society. It's absolutely going apeshit.
Yeah.
Then Faust appears.
Yeah.
John Jaspers. He jumps in through a window.
Yeah.
He starts fucking people up. They barely notice.
Yeah. Claire's all like, she's full cultish now. She's like sexy cult.
No, Jade.
Sorry, Jade, yes, Jade.
She's wearing kind of like mesh bikini.
Right.
I think maybe it was meant to part of her electro BDSM torture, but now she's just got it on.
Right.
She's doing all this weird shit.
The guy with the afro's hanging out.
Yes, he's still wearing his security guy suit. Like a guard at a casino. You know, like the doorman.
Yep.
It's the funniest damn thing.
But now she flips again. Well, when M starts having sex with her.
Wait. First, okay. Faust is cutting people up, and then M challenges him and says, you know, like, how about we talk to Jade, see what she thinks? And Jade now is full cult.
Yeah.
She's talking about how much she loves M and how much she loves cults and sex, and she's doing all these she does pelvic thrusts.
Yeah.
The actor's totally overdoing it.
Yeah.
And then we've been told in an earlier scene that this is what's necessary to break Faust's magic.
Huh. So Mephistopheles does not have power over its magic?
But he does.
Okay.
But he also says that they're trying to figure out... Maybe it's the explanation for why he was able to break free of their control.
Oh.
It's like because he believes in something now, but if we take away what he believes, then he'll go back to... Doesn't make sense, because Mephistopheles could take away his power at any time. In fact, Jade has already asked M, in the earlier scene before she breaks, I want you to set John Jaspers free. And he's willing to do it if she'll do something for him. So we know that he can do it. Maybe he's like a genie and he has to make a bargain in order to take it away. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So she's gone full cult, and he's shocked. He goes, no! Yeah. And then he changes back from Red Batman to just regular Mark Frost.
Yeah.
And at this point, I wrote in my notes, looks like Loverboy is not feeling himself today. So just like Roger Corman's Fantastic Four when the Thing turned back into...
I thought of that too.
It was exactly like it. It was the exact same
because
thing.
In that movie, I think he turned back into the Thing, and we didn't figure out how.
It had something to do with lust.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So it's this, or whatever, love or something.
Yes.
Usually
I thought of that scene 100%.
Then he does his catatonic face again, where he's vaguely cross-eyed. He looks like he's crapping his dax. And as you mentioned, M now... Look, the script says... The Wikipedia page says rape, but I don't think it is rape, because she's pretty into it.
Oh, yeah, she's totally into it. Unless she's been hypnotized or something.
Then it is rape. But anyway, I think maybe it's implied she has been hypnotized, because she snaps out of it at this point.
Yeah.
When she sees a vision of her father raping her.
Yeah, why?
Isn't that what...
That's what
flipped her to become...
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not. But then she seems to flip back. It's not a permanent... Because she's...
No, she does... You're right, she does flip back, because now
But is she faking when she...
Who knows? Nothing's explained. Homunculus comes now. Jeffrey Combs is melted. And now Homunculus comes up. It looks pretty shit.
It's... Yes. And...
It's terrible, actually.
And now we get the moment where... We see Faust with his claws try to fight this thing, and it is like an Italian Hercules movie from the 50s.
Yeah.
Where this thing is at one side of the screen, and he's swinging his claws and not hitting anything.
He's swinging his claws at nothing, and we've split the screen in half. Homunculus is on one side, and
he's jumping, like he's trying to jump
it's so
at this
bad.
thing. It's
and also the film quality kind of goes bad too at points.
By the way,
more about this a little bit later, but this film was rushed out.
Okay. By the way, Homunculus has a pentagram laser that shoots out of his forehead. He's got a pentagram on his forehead that shoots a beam out.
Yeah. kind of cool.
It does look a bit Evil Dead-ish, this thing, but this movie had more money than Evil Dead, so it doesn't really have an excuse, I don't think.
There's no comparison.
So, how does he get out of the contract? Does she destroy it or something?
She makes an agreement.
Right.
She makes her own bargain.
Right. That's right.
And this is very, I'm not giving David Quinn any credit whatsoever, but she basically tricks M. Yeah. She says that she will bear his child. Well, he wants the soul of your firstborn child. And she says, fine. And then he destroys the contract. But this is bad for John Jaspers because now he dies.
Yes.
Because his invulnerability and power has been withdrawn.
Yeah.
So what's been achieved by this? I mean, he was already free because he was doing his own thing.
But she reveals that she has no wound.
Oh, sorry, I'll get to that. Right. Well, one thing he can't do is attack M. Right. So after, actually, he defeats Homunculus.
Yes.
And then M is just kind of floating there.
Yeah.
And Jaspers tries to turn on M, and he can't hit him because there's a block. He can't. And at this point I'm thinking, hang on, the demon's been killed. Isn't the film over?
Yeah, so this is the thing.
What's the stakes here?
The Homunculus is not the beast of the apocalypse. There's another beast. He was trying to impregnate her.
No, none of that happened. That's in the comic, but none of that happens in the film.
No, because when he mounts her in the film, he's trying to impregnate her, and I think Homunculus has already appeared at this stage. He's trying to create another
Homunculus is coming. I think he just rapes her just cause. Maybe to fuck with
But then
Jaspers.
Why does he care whether she has a uterus or not if he's already summoned
The bargain is for... Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But the bargain is for the soul of her firstborn child.
Okay.
Because that's what demons want, I guess. Except what value is... The apocalypse is supposed to come. Why would he care about one person's soul when the apocalypse is about to arrive?
Well, okay, there's a whole... I mean, this is a...
Also, sorry, I'll let you finish. But also, Homunculus has been defeated.
Yes.
The plot is resolved.
Yes.
But he's floating there, and Jaspers is trying to kill him, and he can't.
Yeah.
Now Jade goes back to the bargain that she was trying to make earlier. Set him free and I'll give you the soul. Why would he care about it now? His whole plot's been foiled. What does he care about one soul now? Isn't this time for him to just go back to hell or something?
Yeah.
Anyway, he agrees.
Yeah.
Frees Jaspers. Sorry, what point did you want to make? Have you lost
I had a very big tab to open on this.
Alright, can it wait until I'll wind up the film and then we'll open it? So basically she promises M the soul of her firstborn child. He frees Jaspers, and Jaspers immediately starts dying because without M's... whatever power M granted him, so it must have come from M and not from hell, he's now dying from the bullet wounds he's suffered over the course of the film. Then Jade reveals that she's tricked M. She doesn't have a uterus. She had to have a hysterectomy after her...
At 11 years old.
Ugh.
Okay.
Instead of being, no, you've tricked me, like it would have happened in like in one of the old Faust stories.
Yeah.
Where you got to trick the demon into relinquishing your soul.
Yeah.
He just sort of says, I don't care. I think he says, I thrive on the impossible or something. What? So you're going to have a baby with her when she doesn't have...
Yes, that's what he says, something like that, yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. Then, what happens next?
Well, he's still got his claws. Jasper.
So despite taking away his demonic powers, he's still got the claws?
Yeah.
So did he give him the claws or not? Like, what's the nature of this bargain?
He stabs him and he vanishes, which is strange because he was... I mean, Yuri attempted to kill him and he came back from that.
Yep.
I'm not sure why being stabbed by a couple of blades is going to be worse.
Yep, well, he got his head blown off with a shotgun.
Yes. Yeah.
Do the blades have the power to kill him if it never established? No. Anyway, he's dead now, and then John Jaspers dies.
Yeah.
And roll credits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, tab.
Okay, the tab I want to open is, why does Mephistopheles, not in this, even in this movie, but every version of him throughout history, need souls? Why does he need to come to Earth and go from person to person and say, I want your soul for hell? This was kind of addressed in Neil Gaiman's Sandman. He said, why would I need to do that? They bring themselves to hell. I don't need to do anything. That's nonsense. And I feel like the comic, because it's just pulling up edgelord religious stuff, just to absorb this, actually there's no soul selling it, but the whole apocalypse thing in the comic is just absorbed it from other media. and hasn't thought about it. And here we've got the same thing, where they haven't really thought about why he needs a soul.
When he's bringing about the apocalypse. What value is one soul to him?
Yeah.
Well, he just likes to do fucked up shit, right? Oh, and he wanted an assassin.
Well, in the comic, he wanted an assassin. Oh, I guess, yeah, he wanted an assassin. He wanted to kill the Chinese ambassadors for some reason.
He just likes doing... He runs a cult. I mean, he has to day-to-day run a cult.
Yeah, yes.
So I suppose it's all just part of business. Yeah. And I suppose John Jasper's got his soul back at the end. That's what negating the bargain must have meant.
Okay.
So maybe that's meant to be our happy ending.
Yeah, right.
He dies with his soul.
I don't know if there was a special effect to...
No special effect.
This is the only movie we've done where I've written a note. I love going through my notes sometimes. Pentagram laser, no womb, stab.
It's just those words just promise so much, and yet there's nothing in the film that lives up to the promise of that excellent sentence.
All right, you have some trivia about the soundtrack?
So regarding the soundtrack, all right, there's a baffling quote from Yuzna about this. Okay. So Stuart Gordon, I mentioned, was attached early on.
Okay.
As early as 1993.
Okay.
When it was reported in Wizard magazine that he was going to direct, that the comic rights had been bought by Michael Burnett and Ted Chalmers, and they were quoting rumours that Bruce Campbell was going to be in it, Christopher Lambert was going to be in it.
Whoa, okay.
I don't think these rumours have any substance.
Yeah.
They don't make any sense, actually, considering that it was all going to be shot in Spain on a shoestring budget. Here's a direct quote, which you'll enjoy. "The producers put out an offer to Madonna's agents, but they said that she's moving into another direction."
Wow. What do you mean, Claire?
Who knows? Yeah, maybe. Or maybe Jade. I don't know.
Huh.
Ted Chalmers, promises that this will be a major mainstream film, not an art film.
Wow.
Bold. However, by a few years pass, I think it's still in 1995, according to Wizard magazine, Stuart Gordon was still involved as a director.
Okay.
And that the script was written by David Quinn, but they couldn't find anyone to pick up the film. They couldn't find any production studios interested in it. So eventually Brian Yuzna comes on board. But at some point Stuart Gordon gets out. He bails.
Yeah.
Apparently because he found that he couldn't reconcile the different elements of the script. Yuzna expands on this a bit. He said there are two problems with the script, first of all. Okay. He says the first problem is it's near porn.
Yep.
Second problem, he feels like it encompassed three genres in one. The John Jasper's story is a horror movie. Jade's story is a thriller element. And when Jasper's was put in jail and busts out, it becomes an action adventure. Maybe he means the mental hospital there by jail. He says, juggling those three strands together was hard but necessary because I didn't want to make a traditional horror movie. That's also the reason why heavy metal music accompanies many of the horrific scenes.
Oh, because he didn't want to make a horror movie.
That would line up with what you were saying earlier, that it's not well suited to horror movies.
Yeah, it's like an action, those are action scenes when he's chopping those guys up and stuff. Huh. Okay. I
find it's a bit confusing. Yep. I've written a question mark after that.
Okay.
Wasn't quite sure what he meant by that, but I guess he meant that he was trying to make something a bit different.
Yeah, okay.
But, don't other people... Is it a Rob Zombie thing to put heavy metal music in your...
I don't even know. No, in his own movies he doesn't. He's... No, but like I said, like Jason X had metal music and certain other movies were metal... certain horror movies were trying to put in... I think there was one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it feels like an early noughties kind of thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think. In the late 90s.
Late 90s.
And I didn't like it. And I mean, I'm a metalhead, and I don't like metal in my horror movies. Not that type of metal, anyway. Right,
so the budget was $6 million.
Okay. Special effects.
Yeah. And it's all gone on the special effects. Yeah. Box office, there are no figures for it because I don't think it got a theatrical release.
Oh, interesting.
What did happen is that it premiered at the Sitges Film Festival.
Right.
On October 12th in 2000. Okay. This is according to Cinefantastic magazine, which came in an article that came out in April 2001. It wasn't ready. According to Yuzna, the effects weren't done. It was actually a video transfer
The effects weren't done, and they won the effects award
weird.
at that festival.
There must have been slim pickings.
Huh.
And the editing was quote-unquote rough. According to Yuzna, the film's main backer, someone Spanish, insisted that it be screened despite Yuzna's protests. Quote, I begged him not to show Faust in such an incomplete form, but too much was riding on it for that to realistically happen. Because they needed to get this film out to show that Fantastic Factory, which was going to be based in Spain, was going to be successful. It was a miserable thing to have to do, lamented Yuzna the day after the screening. Faust isn't a movie anymore. It's a whole political and financial scheme to inaugurate a studio, the first of a production line. Speaking of Fantastic Factory, so in 1998, I think I already mentioned, Yuzna relocates from Los Angeles to Spain in order to set it up. Hammer upon Barcelona, they call it. The idea to release a genre film every 3 months.
Okay.
That does not happen. With their own in-house stars and personnel, and provide the distributor, Fernandez, who's presumably the one pushing for the film to be released ahead of schedule, with exploitable horror titles for the international market. After this was Arachnid.
Okay.
Stuart Gordon's Dagon.
Okay.
The Nameless. Another film called Darkness.
Oh, The Nameless sounds familiar. Okay.
And finally, Beyond Reanimator, which I think Yuzna directed.
It's like the fourth Reanimator, I think. Third or fourth, something like that. Yeah.
Speaking of where the money went, the effects. Okay, so, well, first of all, I'll mention that this was a 6-week shoot, so pretty quick shoot.
Yeah.
In Barcelona, and as mentioned, Screaming Mad George did the makeup effects. It took 6 hours to get...
I knew it was not the US because those phones in the phone booths did not look like North American telephones.
Right. Yeah. It took 6 hours to get Mark Frost into the makeup.
Okay.
But apparently they got it down to 4 hours in the end.
Okay.
That same edition of Cinefantastic magazine published an interview with Frost where he said it was a chore to sit still all that time, but what was hardest was listening to Screaming Mad George's thrash metal CDs. Quote, once we came to an agreement that he'd play a CD and then I'd play a more relaxing one, the environment improved. Frost had never done horror and hadn't read the comic, although he claimed to have had friends that had.
Okay.
Both Andrew Divoff and Combs, as genre film alumni, took him under their wing and coached him in the, I suppose, the horror business. He mentions that he only put the makeup on for the final 2 weeks of the shoot because the suit still hadn't arrived until that point. So they shot everything else out up front. He was nervous about it, but Divoff told him how cool it was to wear the Wishmaster outfit. And that apparently put his mind at ease.
Right, okay.
But he said that when he was wearing the suit, no one would talk to him.
Interesting.
They wouldn't meet his eyes, talk to him or speak to him or even look at him. He said, I started becoming this monster because everyone was ignoring me. And he said, the amount of gore we used really surprised me too. I couldn't get the stuff out of my hair or fingernails for ages, even though I'd shower constantly after the 16-hour days of mayhem. Furthermore, my genitals were constantly being gaffer taped up.
Yikes, okay.
I was horrified at first, but after a while I didn't care. It was another step into the unknown on this weird and wild adventure. Apparently Andrew Divoff does all his own stunts.
Really?
He'd sort of decided at a young age that he was always going to do his own stunts so that he would have the maximum amount of control over his characters. Mark Frost did not do all of his own stunts, although he did point out the stunt work was hard and physically demanding. But luckily, quote, Andrew Divoff met a Brazilian kung fu master on the street and he became my stunt double.
Sounds chaotic.
It's just a big mess. Speaking of Divoff, all of this stuff happens on Walpurgisnacht.
Yes.
And I believe that Divoff can speak many languages because he pronounces Walpurgisnacht with a flawless German accent.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yep. That's everything.
Okay. Let's vote on this thing.
The comic is nay for me.
Oh, yeah.
This is, except for Veronica, this is the worst shit we've covered.
There must be something drawn worse than this.
Drawn worse, sure. When you mentioned individual panels, that makes sense because the line art is good.
Yes.
But it doesn't exist in isolation.
No.
Every page, but
part of that is, I don't know what the working relationship was, but it has to be laying at Quinn's feet as well, because he's writing the panel description saying, now this guy's over here, now they're over there, now they're doing this.
But the artist seems allergic to empty space.
Yeah.
Every page is first of all cluttered.
Yeah.
Beyond legibility.
Yeah.
You cannot tell who's who.
Yeah.
Or what anyone's doing. And then if there is any space, or if he does a splash, he fills all of the... Like an illuminated manuscript from the 12th century, except less cool than that sounds.
You know what part of the problem there is too, is that Faust is having visions of stuff, and those are drawn into panel. Meanwhile, the villain is actually summoning stuff up.
Right.
And those are drawn to panel. So you can't distinguish what's going on. Does this thing really exist? Or there's no fading on those visions or anything to indicate...
Yeah, correct.
What we're looking at.
It's the same problem as where he's talking to himself and we don't know why he's doing that or who's speaking.
Yeah.
But, the artist will just fill up the background of a panel, even when it's plainly not a vision. It's us.
Yeah.
We're the only people seeing it.
Yeah.
A background of a splash panel will just have skulls with wings or bats or dancing skeletons. Like he's got attention deficit disorder or something. And that's not even getting into the fact that the plot is nonsense, the dialogue is nonsense, the captions are illegible half the time.
Yeah.
The word balloons, it's completely unclear who's talking.
Yeah.
Anytime I could figure out what people were saying, it was edgy nonsense, pompous bloviating. At least Veronica, I could tell what was happening.
Yeah.
I think this is worse than Veronica.
Yeah, you mean the movie?
No, the comic.
Okay.
Oh, we'll talk about the movie.
Yes,
I think this comic is
you
worse
haven't had that
than Glenn Danzig's comics. Because at least I knew what the fuck was happening in Glenn Danzig's comics.
Yeah. Except for that one with the woman that had eyes on her breasts, and it was never explained why.
I knew what was happening there. She had eyes on her breasts.
Right.
A spider, a flower cried on a spider, and then she had eyes on her breasts.
Yes.
No, her breasts cried on a spider.
She already had the eyes on her breasts.
Wasn't there an SNL sketch that explained this?
Yes. They had eyes on the breasts, yeah. We'll put it on the Reddit. I'll put that on the Reddit. I was really reading this comic wondering why it was so popular, but I do think it was at the cusp of when the audience was looking for
someone noticed, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to... if those figures are accurate, those sales figures, then I'm willing to accept that someone was paying attention at Marvel or DC. And so this is what's selling. There's the Dark Knight Returns and other stuff. This is the direction. This is what people want.
Yes, exactly. It was pushing it further and further and further.
It's funny that it happened after the blow up of the black and white comics.
Yeah, that's fascinating too. I mean, in industry terms, it's really interesting to me. But it's just amazing that it took them 20 years to finish it, and they were still... I mean, the difference between the world that we live in 87 versus 2007... And yet the comic was still set in 87, I guess.
Must have been.
It's just such a strange thing. But anyway, yes, the comic is terrible. I wondered about it for decades. What's this comic? Maybe I should get around to it someday. And I did, and boy, it was let down. Okay, this movie. So we should do, which we haven't done in a long time, is it worse than Veronica?
No, I don't think it is worse than Veronica.
No,
at all.
Not. Yeah.
The plot's nonsensical.
But
there's a plot.
It makes more sense in the comic.
Oh, 100%.
In fact, I'm going to step all over adaptation here.
Oh, please go. Please do. I think we've made it plain how much we hate this, how ridiculous this movie is. So I assume
the movie's ridiculous. There are bits that are enjoyable. Jeffrey Combs is in... I've seen lots of Jeffrey Combs junk. Fine. I've watched lots of these trash horror movies he did in the 90s. Fine. I'm into them.
Yep. Jeffrey Combs is great.
This is one of them. There's some great special effects stuff. There's...
Yep. I don't mind the scenes where I could have done with less quipping.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
The scenes where
in fact
Faust is tearing shit up.
The quipping, I watched the movie, I was like, what is this? This must be that guy, the Revenge of the Nerds guy came in and wrote these scripts, and then I went back to the comic issue 1 today. It's in the comic.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, oh shit. The movie comes up with a plot line. It doesn't abandon, they abandon the assassin plot. I mean, there's all sorts of holes, as we've talked about.
Heaps of holes.
And yet it's somehow more coherent than the comic.
100%. Well,
there's fewer...
So it's an A for the film, right? Or is it a
Yes, it's an A.
Yeah, it's an A for me too, but let's talk about adaptation, because you're going there.
Yes, I'm going there. It's an improvement every way. Most of the time I can understand what people are talking about, even if they're talking nonsense. The characters are generally... They've cut out, like, the other cop, the crooked cop. They've cut out...
Well, he's become...
The reporter.
He's become the chief of police, hasn't he, sort of?
Yeah,
They've folded him into that character. Yeah.
They've cut out that super reporter. Mm-hmm. I think this version of Claire is much better than the version that's in the comic, maybe because of the energy of the actress. Everything's an improvement, and yet all of these elements were in the comic.
Yeah. I get the sense you're leaning towards yay.
Oh yeah, this is a yay for me. Yeah.
It's a yay for me too.
Yeah.
I agree with everything that you just said. And also, I will go further and make the point that this comic is sleaze, violence, and pomposity. All of those elements are there in the film too, but they've been pared back.
Yes.
It's less sleazy than the comic. It's less violent than the comic.
It's maybe the right level of sleaze.
I would say manageable.
Yeah. We've done lots of enjoyable sleazy comics. Just last week we've done enjoyable violent comics, overly violent. We've done 100%. All that stuff.
My goodness, my opinion of Crying Freeman has gone up enormously after this week. But yeah, for those reasons, and mine, I'm also going for yay for adaptation.
Okay. Alright, excellent. Okay, so please like, rate, review, subscribe. You can contact us through the email address in the show notes, or you can send us a DM on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, or Reddit. You can also comment on YouTube. I've stopped getting email notifications for some reason, so I might be a little bit late liking your comments if you leave them on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that's about, but I'm not the only one suffering this problem. And also, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/comicbookmovieoblivion. All one word. Okay, next week, I've got Frankenstein on the brain because I went to the cinema to see the new Del Toro Frankenstein. It was awesome.
Awesome.
So we're going to do Blade 2. We're not going to read any comics. I don't think. Maybe we might read a couple. But we basically covered all the Blade comics that came out before the movie.
Yes. When
we covered the first one. In fact, I would argue that every Blade movie after the first Blade is based on Blade 1, not based on Blade comics. And that might end up affecting whether or not we cover number 3 or lots of other movies like Extraction 2 or things like that. Addams Family 2. We'll talk about all that at some other stage. But anyway, next week Blade 2, and there's no setup because you don't need to read anything for it, probably.
Yeah. And if anyone can figure out how to release me from this Faustian bargain I've made with Kamar, please write in. Anyone willing to offer up the soul of their firstborn child, I'm very willing to have them do it.
All right.